Good evening, present tense. Happy Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday. This week has flown. Hope you're having a great week. Tonight, I want to talk about a very heavy topic, and it is called gaslighting. You may have heard of this term before. You may not have. I get asked quite a bit about this because it's something that I am very well versed in, and I find myself using this term to answer questions of people. And I'm like, blah, 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 gaslighting. And the person will say, what is that? Right? They've never heard of it. So I really want to discuss this topic because it is a big one that I'm going to be going into in one of my coaching programs for people who have been through toxic relationships. Because gaslighting is, a toxic manipulator's favorite thing to do. And so I think it's really important to give everybody kind of a heads up about what this means, and just is something that is really, really, really dangerous to go through, to be around. And so I want you to also have an idea of what it is so that you can spot it with people in your own life, because you might just be getting gaslighted. So gaslighting, this term came from a movie. And actually, originally, the movie was a play from 1938. 1944, it was a movie that was released. And so really, really old black and white film. I've actually never seen it. I've just watched a few YouTube video clips of it. And I seriously want to see this movie. It's frightfully interesting. It's like a psychological thriller. Anyway, really old movie. So in the movie, the husband makes his wife believe that she's gone mad. Okay, that's the term they probably used back in the 40s. And specifically, I think he starts messing with the gas lights that their house is lit with, and making her believe she's seeing things. Anyway, so hence the term gaslighting. So today, it's actually used to describe a form of manipulation, a very covert, aggressive form of manipulation that an abuser, toxic person will do as a way to distort the reality of their victims. The motive for doing this is to make you feel like you're going crazy, so that you depend on them even more. What they say, what they think is the right thing to do, whatever it may be, you actually get to a point where you don't trust yourself. So you become more dependent on them. And this form is really scary. So why is it used? Well, like I alluded to, it's used to gain power and control over another person. It's to make you think that they're always right with their beliefs and what they say is right and what is wrong in the world. It's used to minimize or erase any kind of abuse that has been that has been made towards you. It is often used so that the person can play victim. And it's used to get rid of a responsibility or to get out of a promise that someone has made to you, or an agreement that they've made to you. It's also, honestly, the biggest thing is it's made to make you feel like you're going crazy. All right, because there's all these misunderstandings or things that they're saying they never said, or they never did, or that you said or never said or did do. Okay, so it's to distort your reality. So how they go about doing this is, like I said, they can deny that they ever said something to you, and they did. Okay, they can tell you that you're crazy when you question them, when you're like, wait a minute, I really did say this, or you really did say that. They can tell you that other people are saying things about you that they're not really saying, or that everybody knows you're blank, right? They can blame you for whatever they did. So the main goal is to have control over a victim so that this person becomes more dependent on them, and it makes it easier for the abuser to have his or her way. Over time, when this happens, you end up feeling like you can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not. Okay. You feel, these are some of the symptoms of how you feel if you've been gaslighted for a long time by a person. You feel confused. You feel full of self-doubt. If you already have an issue with anxiety or obsession or depression, it's going to make those things, perfectionism too. It's going to make those things even more intense. And you're going to feel scared. One of the things you're going to realize is that you are lying a lot, okay, to this person because you're scared of their reaction, okay? It could be, oftentimes if people are gaslighting, they are controlling, manipulative people. So they might be controlling in other ways, like, insisting the garage door needs to be shut or open and changing their mind all the time about which one. And then you do it one way and it's not the right time today, okay? So you end up being fearful, or it's not the right way, sorry, today in their mind. For whatever reason, today, the garage door is supposed to be open, even though yesterday they wanted you to always have it closed. This is real stuff, you guys. That is a real example that I have personally lived through. So the idea, you get to a point where you start lying. So if they say it's the garage door open, you're like, well, what do they want to hear? Because you're going to be in trouble either way, right? You end up lying about decisions that you make. I mean, it's just crazy. What you do, you lie about what you said, you lie about what you did, because you're really just trying to avoid the toxic reaction from the other person and the gaslighting of, no, I didn't want you to do it that way. You have difficulty, after a long time of going through this, you have difficulty making decisions. Even the smallest decisions, can be really difficult. You feel like you're constantly second guessing yourself. Did I do this right? Did I leave that door open? Did I delete that document? You constantly second guess yourself. Did I handle this right? Did I, is a friend mad at me? Okay. You feel angry, misunderstood, very lonely. And you start to think that this other person, this is what happens. You start to think that this manipulative, abusive person actually does know best. That's the whole goal. That's when when you get to that point, they have won. They have won the gaslighting battle. You have this desire going forward after, like, let's say you get out of this toxic situation. You have this desire going forward to clarify the stupidest things that really don't matter. Like if someone said, well, Tuesday I went to the grocery store and then, and I saw this, this kid and he couldn't find his mom. Okay. I'm just trying to think of something that would make a reason why you would talk to someone about going to the grocery store. Okay. I saw the kid couldn't find his mom. I helped him find his mom. And then let's say you overhear this person telling that same story to a friend the next day, but that person says, on Wednesday, I went to the grocery store. Here's one of the things that victims of gaslighting will do. No, wait. You told me yesterday that you said you went to the grocery store Tuesday. Is that right? Or did you go Wednesday? These things become really important to someone who's been gaslighted and are then out of or even while they're in the entire, that abuse cycle of being gaslighted. The minute details that don't really even matter become really important to someone, whether they were at the grocery store Tuesday or Wednesday, because you're learning to trust again. Okay. What can you do if you are being gaslighted? There is no way you can reason with someone who is gaslighting you. There's no way you can say to them, you're gaslighting me and I know because the whole point is they're going to deny that and say you're crazy. Okay. That's what they're going to do. That's feeding into their game. There's no way you can have a conversation with this person and say, I'm on to you, because they're going to say, see, you are crazy. Okay. There's no way to win. Here's what you can do. Don't defer to others. Try to hear your own voice. Okay. Trust your gut. Try to get used to trusting your gut again. Write things down, record conversations if you're still with a person who's doing this to you, because guys, this is not just something that happens in marriages. This happens with family members, all sorts of family members, friendships. This can happen in the workplace. This happens a lot in politics, and I'm going to leave that right there and not touch it. Okay. So it's not just someone that you might be living with, although that is probably the most toxic situation you can ever experience of gaslighting is having to be under the same roof as someone doing it, like a parent or a sibling or, or a spouse. So, remind yourself what reality is. Like I said, write things down. And also, when you can, cut that person out of your life, because this is one of the most unhealthy things that can even cause people to have nervous breakdowns. Okay, it has. If it goes on for way too long and you don't get yourself out of that situation, you can honestly have a nervous breakdown. Look for patterns though, because sometimes people might be like, well, no, I thought I said I went to the store Tuesday. I didn't say Wednesday. Now, sometimes people innocently, do not remember what day they went to the store. And they're like, I didn't say Wednesday. I swear I said Tuesday. Okay, they don't remember that. Okay, so that doesn't mean that this person's gaslighting you. You need to look for patterns in each relationship. If you're finding that this is a pattern with someone in your relationship, that you're constantly being told, that didn't happen, I didn't say that, then be careful. Another way, I want to just add this one more thing, is text communication, texting. So much I know gets misunderstood through this form of communication that we all use so much, right? We have to be careful not to read into it. But one of the ways that someone who gaslights you will communicate is, unless you are incredibly specific about what you're asking or plans that you're making with this person. Let's say this person is your ex and you're having to communicate about what time you're going to pick kids up, or does this work for you to change this kind of schedule. You have to be very specific and to the point in your messages, almost like you're writing for a damn manual, so that they can't say later, I never agreed to that. I didn't understand your text. I guess you meant something different. You have to be very straightforward in your communication. So that is one thing that you can do if you're having to communicate with someone who is a massive gaslighter. All right, so more on this topic later. So much more to share, but I think 12 minutes of gaslighting for tonight is enough. If you've had this in your life, tell me about it. I would love to hear about it, and I'd love to help you get out of it if this is something that you're dealing with, okay? Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your night, you guys. All right, take care. Bye-bye.